Hey family, thanks so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring you another quick video. Of course, I'll put the disclaimer on here, take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a timeless reading, so it could be happening now, could happen in the future, it could have already happened. You can also use this as a manifestation reading, so you can claim this information for your own and for your life. I get my information from God and from the Holy Spirit. I don't use any cards or anything. If you would like to work with me on astrology readings, twin flame stuff, and more, my information is in the description below. I'd be happy to talk with you. Trying to think if there's anything else. If I leave anything else out in this reading, I will try to sprinkle it in later as we go. This may be a reading, it may not be a reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest, of course. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you. Let me just get into the reading and I will see what comes. So, one thing that I wanted to focus on was being a true healer. Sometimes I say divine masculine and mean divine feminine. Sometimes I say divine feminine and mean divine masculine. We all have masculine and feminine energies in our bodies, so just keep in mind that you should use the terms as they apply in your situation. But what I was thinking about was, as a true healer, we need to be mindful of some things. So I was writing maybe a day ago, a couple days ago, and I was thinking, I'm so much happier when I'm thinking about or working on lifting other people up, helping them with their goals, and so on and so on. And then I was thinking, I don't really use a lot of my efforts or energy toward me, my, I stuff. And then, of course, now I encourage you to engage in self care, to do self care. Take care of yourself because you have to. You should be thriving. But the thing that I was thinking about is my taking care of me is taking care of everyone else. That's the thing that lifts me up, that brings me joy, that gives me energy. And I love doing that stuff. And I'm not the type of person to always focus on me, and I, and my, and all that stuff. And now some of us, all of us, of course, have to focus on ourselves and take care of ourselves, but not always. And so a lot of us focus on helping other people, lift them up. That's the thing that's taking care of me. In the Bible, it says something like, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And if it's me, we all can get together and take care of each other. That's how I feel about it. And so, divine masculine, divine feminine, you may be running into others that are doing just that, just they're selfless. They want to help each other. They want to lift each other up, and they might forget about themselves. And I was thinking, as I was writing the other day, I was thinking how I was out running around and I didn't even consider, like, it was almost like I forgot my body. Like I was just so engaged in or focused on or thinking about being with others, focused on what do they need or answering questions or sharing information or whatever it was, or just so understanding whatever it was. And I was just so focused on that that I wasn't focused on me. And sometimes, in the past, I have had out of body experiences like that where I'm just not in the body. I've joined the other person, and they talk about that with twin flames a lot. And so divine masculine, divine feminine, that may be your experience even more lately, that you're so focused on the other, lifting others up, being with others, understanding, supporting, encouraging, communicating, and all of that, to the point where you don't even worry about you, and it's almost like you forget that you're in the room and it's just them, and they have the whole stage, and the other person or the group of people or whatever, your family, friends, clients, whatever, it just turns into them, and you're just kind of joining with them. It's a strange experience to have, and it's something that I want to talk about and try to explain my experience of more. But it is sort of like emerging and not purposeful. And it wasn't like, I was there, kind of trying to be a part of something, trying to. It was just me being, and when I was just being, that's what happened. I kind of forgot that I had a body, and I was just so focused on, you know, again, lifting people up or understanding or communicating or whatever it was. Um, Making sure everyone is okay, whatever it is. And I think I was talking about trying to achieve our divinity before, and that is, and maybe divine masculine, divine feminine, you're working on that. And I think you should continue to do that more and more, but it's really about being one with God, I believe, if I understand it right. But this is what it's about, like just understanding that we're non-physical anyway, that's us having a human experience. So we're spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. So our physical bodies are in our spirit bodies, and we need to know that. And when the spirit body takes over, it is so powerful. It radiates energy, light, and all of that. And that's what it is, that when we think about it, like if we think about ourselves this way, and someone explained it this way, I think it is pretty accurate and interesting. But it's like we're mist. If you think about it, like our spirits being mist. And so in the New Testament, when Jesus says, I'm in the Father, and the Father is in me, and you are in me, and I'm in you, and whatever. All these things, like we're all mixed together. So if you think of us as like that, like the Spirit, like mist, even, it's so fine that you can't even see it, but it exists. And so you think of it this way, like we're all merging together anyway. So we're not really separate. So when you say, oh, I'm going to come over to your house, well, you're already merged. Like if you think of it like the mist, we're already a part of each other, and so we're not separated. So if you think of yourself as separate from someone, you're not. But I remember hearing someone commenting on one of my videos. I read one of the comments, and it was such an amazing comment that they made, saying that they had this experience, but it was just like being, in my experience, like I said, having this experience where it was like I was one with someone, not, but like there it was a virtual session. I'm sitting talking with them, and all of a sudden I just forgot. It was like I blinked out of existence, and I was just with her, and there was no me, there was no separation. If you ever did this experiment where you it's meditation, there are all different types of meditation, so just consider that. But I was doing this meditation where I was looking at one spot on the wall, and I think in single point of focus meditation. But anyway, looking at the one spot on the wall, everything else disappeared, and it was just like the I was the spot on the wall, I guess. And everything else went black. And it was just like me existing in that one point. That was it. I couldn't, there was, everything else was black. And I was thinking, this is something that, probably be a more interesting, longer discussion later on. But some people say when we go to sleep, we really return to who we are. If you can imagine it, like we have this whole body VR, virtual reality headset on, but it's a headset, body set, all of that. So all of, like, our heads, our bodies, everything is like the the gear, and we peek our, like, a little part of our spirits into it, and we can, it's sort of like playing a game, the Sims, or it could be GTA, it could be, Mario, whatever it is. But we're like a character. These bodies that we have right now, our physical bodies, are characters in the game. And in order to get into the game, we need a character. This is our character. But if we pull ourselves out of this, we're so vast, we can't even imagine. That's a little 2D world, or even if it's 3D, we're still not, like, it doesn't touch our reality as it is, you know. But all we know, because of the VR gear, only has certain functions. It only has certain things that it can do. It could go forward, like some of the games, you could go forward, you can't go backward. You could go forward and backward, you can't go side to side. And then you get I don't know, you get some kind of magic mushroom, let's say, or whatever, or that's interesting to think about, right? The magic mushroom. You get that, and then you have a superpower, and you could go frontward, backward, side to side. You could go diagonal. You could go to the next level, and you just keep getting to the next level and the next level, and you just keep going up. I think that's just amazing to think about. But just for divine masculine, divine feminine, you might be experiencing this phenomenon more and more, that you feel like this physical body is not limiting you anymore, that you're able to get out of it, that you're able to go to different levels. And some of it is when you visualize, some of it is when you meditate. It just depends on what you're doing. And some of it is just you're talking, having conversation, you're reading, you're studying, you're watching videos, but you're really getting into something, focusing. And when you do, it's like you forget that everything else is around, and there you are in this whole different world. So just I would say, continue to take care of your physical bodies, continue to detox, continue to eat as healthy as possible. I would encourage you to do that, as someone who tries to do that. Of course, you consult your qualified health professional for anything that you want to do related to health, but just trying to take care of yourselves, because the more your bodies are healthy, healing and all that stuff, the more you can do, the more levels, different levels you could get to, um, with whatever you're trying to do. So just keep that in mind. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else. I want to probably, like I said, make more videos on this topic because I think it's really interesting. I didn't know that I would get into that. Um, but just again, coming back to, um, being a true healer, and knowing that it is a selfless act, knowing that, like for me, like I said, the reason that I don't spend more time doing, oh, let me promote myself, or let me talk to you about myself, let me tell you what I can do. I'm like, I just want to do the work. I just want to work on, like, helping other people with their goals, or with this or with that. And I know some people will say, well, it's a necessary step for you to take in between for you to do some marketing or sales or whatever, for you to get there. But it's hard to do it when all you want to do is focus on doing the work. So I'm going to end this for now, but thank you so much for joining me. I want to do more videos about this because I do think it's interesting. Um, as always, happy lightning fast manifesting to you, and I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.